Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here from the very beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway on dirt, as this is the MidSouth Mafia Majula Speed Shop Throwback Thursday race. 400 big ones are on the line here this evening for drivers to claim that extra bit of payday. All they've got to do is finish across the start-finish line in that top spot to earn themselves that big payday in their name into the history books, as we'll get ready to unload all these drivers onto the racetrack for heat race number 1. 6 minutes left here in practice, so drivers will be rolling out there on the racetrack, here and there, getting the last little bit of testing and tuning in, making sure that their setups are perfect, making sure that their cars are handling the way they need them to set themselves up for a big day here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Bryce Dickinson coming in with the love here. Bryce coming in, smashing that thumbs up on the broadcast. How are you, Brycey Bear? Brycey Bear coming in, showing the big love here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's blow this one absolutely up. Make sure you hit the like, the comment, the share button. Make sure you hit the follow and subscribe button as we get ready to rock and roll here with a big payday for all of the Majula Speed Shop drivers, all the sweet Victory Apparel fans in the stands ready to see these drivers rock and roll. We'll get ready to see who starts on that pole for heat race number 1. Evan Channel coming in with the like on the stream. Bryce Dickinson with that share as well. Joycelyn Belch coming in with the heart reaction. How are you, Joycelyn? Joycelyn coming in, showing the big love. Says, how's it going, lovely souls? It is going absolutely amazing. Joycelyn, we are ready to go back to green flag racing here on the dirt track, as Bryce Dickinson says, peace. Brycey Bear, how are you, brother? How are you, Bryce? Coming in, showing the big love here in this one, as we'll get ready for a $400 to win race from the beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway. Now, there's a few different rules here in this one. There's a few different things that drivers will be able to do to try to help themselves out here just a little bit. Let me pull up the flyer right now. We got a little bit right now let me double check this. I know there's some, they can get one extra set of tire change during the A main feature event, so that's going to be a big thing. During that A main feature event, when do you come down pit side? Do you come down pit side? Get those fresh tires. You definitely do not want to do it during green flag racing, but a late caution flag, someone sitting in that, just outside the top 10 could throw on that extra set of tires and march their way to the front of the field with all that extra grip, all that extra power, and everything else. So it's going to be very wild, very interesting to see how these drivers are going to be able to work themselves through the field, through the traffic, and who's going to be able to punch their ticket into this A main feature event. Now, some of these drivers have some throwback paint schemes, as this is the Thursday throwback race, and some of them have their names changed. There's not, I don't think there's any actual real-life NASCAR drivers or, big late model drivers or anything else in here, but I could be completely wrong. There's at least one, and he's starting on the pole here in heat race number 1, and starting on the pole, down pit side, ready to rock and roll on the pole. The 75 right, that is Trey Mills, starting here in the front of heat race number 1. To his outside in the 19C, that is Camden Johnston. Starting in that third position in the 18 ride, that is Matthew Selby. Into his outside, the Team CFM Esports, and number 25, that is Scott Fritz. Starting in position number 5 here in the 24 machine, that's a beautiful looking ride there for Chance Carr. Into his outside, it's supposed to be the 26 ride of Greg Knight, but looks like Knight may have missed the start of this race. That will move the 31 ride of Skip Arp up into that 6th position here, and then we see that 166 ride of Ryan Green out there on the racetrack, and the 41 ride of Buck Simmons. So we got 8 drivers here in heat race number 1, and there is 3 transfer positions. 3 drivers will advance into the A main feature event. Everybody else will be headed to the consolation races. Definitely not a spot you want to be in. You want to be able to punch your ticket right here through the heat race and not have to sweat a consi. Bryce says, just here to support my brother. Let's go. Brycey Bear coming in, showing the big love. Scott Fritz with that share as we end all the anticipation here with our first heat race of the evening. Trey Mills quickly onto the loud pedal, out in front. A little contact back there behind him. Hang on to it. Matthew Selby and the Scott Bloomquist, number 18 ride, almost going around right there. A little bit of left rear damage to that 18 ride. He's able to keep it pointed in the right direction and keeps on rolling. Unfortunately, down 4 spots early in this race. Now on the outside of a transfer spot, looking in. As leading the way, the 75 ride of Trey Mills out in front, showing him how to get it done. Camden Johnston right there behind him and already up into position number 2. That is the number 31 of Skip Arp into that second spot. Skip with a great run and a great drive now into that second spot. On the move to the front of the field here for the Majula Say Speed Shop ride as he's quickly into that second spot, up 6 positions here on the evening. And don't look now because here comes Buck Simmons. Buck Simmons right there as well, working himself up towards the front. He's going to take a look to the inside of Camden Johnston. This is for the third and final transfer spot. A good run, though, out of quarter number 2 for Camden Johnston, and he'll hold on to that second spot as Camden right there in third, trying to keep Buck Simmons, Chance Carr, Matthew Selby, Ryan Green, Scott Fritz, and Greg Knight, as we do see Knight out there on the racetrack in that number 5 ride. Rolling out there onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, he is way behind the rest of the field as we get a good battle. Here at the front of the field is taking the lead away. It's Skip Arp quickly to the top spot. So the 31 ride from the rear of the field to the front of the pack, going from the outhouse to the penthouse here in heat race number 1. Skip Arp out in front with Trey Mills there in second. Buck Simmons going to make the move around that number oh man, unfortunate break for Camden Johnston as he's off the racetrack. Camden Johnston got up into the outside wall. Heavy damage there for the 19 ride. He's down pit side, and that will take him out of contention here for that third and final transfer spot. Matthew Selby, though, is storming back up as he's back into that 4th position here. He's only a couple car lengths away from taking that third and final spot, back away from the 41 ride of Buck Simmons, but he's only got one more lap to get it done. And Skip Arp out in front down the back straightaway into corner number 3 and out of corner number 4 for the final time here in heat race number 1. Skip Arp gonna pick up heat race win number 1 on the evening. Trey Mills there in second, and Buck Simmons going to come home in that third and final transfer spot. What a run and what a race there for heat race number 1. Unfortunately, Matthew Selby, Ryan Green, Scott Fritz, Chance Carr, Greg Knight, and Camden Johnston all going to the consolation races, as only 3 drivers will advance into the A main feature event. Now, we got a very special treat for you guys here in this one. A very wild start to heat race number 3, as here comes Caster Plays coming in. Says, PeaceMaker, it's me. I'm gonna try to turn up Sunday. Let's go, Caster. Let's go, my boy, coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube as we get ready here for heat race number 2. I see my boy Adam Feeler coming in with the like on the stream. Jeff Brown coming in with that thumbs up as well. Cody Myers says, shut up, Bryce. Shut up, Bryce. As we got a special front row here for you, ladies and gentlemen. Starting on the pole in heat race number 2, that is Kyle Busch. Then his outside in the number 33 ride, that is Tony Stewart. Smoke starting there on the outside of the front row here for Smoke. A good start here for the Majula Say Speed Shop ride. So he's going to get that car rocking and rolling here in just a few more moments. We see Tommy Kohick there in third, the 44 ride of Darnell Nielsen. Ryan Hoge-Dale Sr. out there on the racetrack all the way from heaven here to Bristol Motor Speedway. And then you see Ryan Ahone there. Ryan Ahone in the number 71 ride. And Evan C. out there as well. Evan C. still running his own car. He's got that Mopar Valvoline ride. A beautiful looking paint scheme here, beautiful throwback, and he's quickly getting that number 15 right up towards the front of the field in the, I believe that's a France Steve France paint scheme actually on that ride. It's Kyle Busch leads the way here. Busch out in front, but here comes Tommy Kohik trying to hunt him down. Kohik right there behind Kyle Busch is Ryan Hoge sitting in that third and final transfer spot in a beautiful Davey Allison Helbely number 29 throwback paint scheme there. Evan Seed back in position number 4 and looking for more here is Dale Sr. They're in position number 5 is a little contact. Tommy Kohik, look out. Oh, baby, contact being made. Oh, man, from a transfer spot into the penthouse all the way to the outhouse here for the 18 ride. Unfortunately, Tommy Kohik back to that 8th spot and some heavy damage on that 18 ride. Kyle Busch, though, out in front, continuing to lead the way. Ryan Hoge right there behind him. It's Hoge trying to reel him in. But here comes Evan C. from the back of the pack up into that third and final transfer spot, and he may not be done yet. He's got that 18 ride hooked up and pointed in the right direction. Sorry, the 15 ride pointed in the right direction here in this one. He's right there trying to take a look down low, trying to snag position number 2 away from the 29 ride. It's, oh no, I don't know what happened to Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch looks like he is disconnected. Kyle Busch is disconnected from the race, and that hands the lead over to Ryan Hoge. So Hoge now out in front with Evan C. there in second, and Dale Sr. in that third and final transfer spot. Dale Sr. there in third, looking to get a big run, but here comes an even bigger run as Evan C. gonna go for the lead. A big run and a big crossover down across the line. Door to door, a big run and a slide job here from Ryan Hoge. The beautiful crossover there from CC. Will take another look down low as they continue to battle here at the front of the field. Dale Sr. poking his nose into that battle, and Tony Stewart not too far behind him as we see that white flag fly. So one more time around here is Evan C. out in front, leads us for the final time in heat race number 2 down the back straightaway into corner number 3, nice and easy out of corner number 4, and he will pick up heat race win number 2 on the evening. Ryan Hoge and Dale Sr. there in that third and final transfer spot means Tony Stewart, Ryan Aho, and everybody else will be headed to the consolation races, including Kyle Busch. So we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here for heat race number 3 as Caster Plays says, I'm here now over there on the Twitch channel, coming in showing the love on all the channels here this evening. I appreciate that, brother, coming in showing all the love here this evening as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here as heat race number 3 gets loaded into the sim. Each and every one of these drivers are looking for the win here in this one. Is starting on the pole in the 50B ride, that is Larry McDaniels. To his outside in the 55 ride, that is Damian Kiefer, and down on the inside, a row number 2, that is the 5 machine of Nathan Waddell. To his outside in the 22 ride, that is Chris Ferguson. Fergie starting there in position number 4 on the racetrack. In the UFO Brooks Auto Repair number 000, that is Matt George. Into his outside the 17 ride, that is Corey Sibley. Then we see that 34 ride of Desmond Busby, and Hunter Gaines bringing up the rear of the field here in heat race number 3. Some beautiful looking throwback paint schemes once again out there on the racetrack, and they're being led by this beautiful number 50B machine as the Larry Shaw race cars. Number 50B of Larry McDaniels leading us down to the green flag here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. The pace truck will make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side and set the field loose as Larry McDaniels quickly onto the loud pedal. Gets a great jump straight to the high side. It's a big slide jump already out of the 5 ride of Nathan Waddell. He's not holding back as things are going to get plumb wild here in heat race number 3 as Damian Kiefer gives him one right back there in 3 and 4. Here comes Waddell with another slide jump there in corner number 1 and 2. The beautiful crossover and the beautiful Heads Up Racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. These guys putting on a show at the front of the field as Larry McDaniels, he loves to see this out of his rearview mirror as these drivers continue to dice it up back there behind him. He's starting to open up a little bit of a lead. You see Fergie right there in position number 4 on the racetrack. A beautiful paint scheme here for the ShopFergie22.com, a Julius A Speed Shop ride as Fergie gonna take a look down low on Nathan Waddell, pulls the trigger on a slide job himself. The crossover from Waddell as here comes the UFO ride of Matt George. He's going to poke his nose into the fun here at the front of the field, and Desmond Busby right there as well, trying to hunt him down. Busby right there in that 6th position as Larry McDaniels leads the way here in this one. Damian Kiefer sitting pretty there in 2nd. He's got Nathan Waddell, though, trying to reel him back in. As Waddell there in 3rd. Fergie back in position number 4. He's trying to mount another charge himself as he knows he's on the outside of a transfer spot looking in. As that Great American Lager ride looking for a big run here as they seize a little bit of side-by-side there in front of him. He may be able to seize that opportunity to make a move and get some gains there on the 5 ride of Nathan Waddell. Waddell got right underneath of Damian Kiefer there, almost had the run that he needed to go door-to-door with him and try to pull the trigger on another big slide job. Unfortunately, just did not get the run he needed, and that has brought the 22 ride of Fergie right there to his back bumper, and the 34 of Desmond Busby right there within striking distance as well. As Larry McDaniels, though, continues to lead the way down across the line. He will click off another lap here in this one. Damian Kiefer sitting pretty now in 2nd is door-to-door here for that 3rd and final transfer spot. Waddell up the track, gonna slide up in front of Fergie. Fergie gonna try to reel him back in and try to get another big run underneath of him as he knows he's only got one more lap to get it done. Nose to tail racing a little contact as Desmond Busby gets into the back bumper there of the 22 ride. Is out at quarter number 3 and 4. It's the 50B of Larry McDaniels picking up heat race win number 3 here this evening. Damian Kiefer, Nathan Waddell, our top 3 to advance into the show. Everybody else will be headed to the Consolation races. And so we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here for heat race number 4. Heat race number 4 about to get underway here as starting on the pole is going to be the 20 ride of Clint Smith, as Clint will start in that top spot here. We're waiting for him to load into the simulator as he just hasn't loaded in yet. He's outside. There you go. There's the 20 ride of Clint Smith, who will be starting there in that pole position. To his outside in that number 14 ride, that is J.D. Brown, and down on the inside of row number 2 in the 1J ride, that is James Broswell. To his outside in the number 49 ride, that is a beautiful Jonathan Davenport looking paint scheme there, as Connor New going to start in position number 4. Starting in that 5th position in the number 22 ride, that is a beautiful ride here for Todd Reitzler. Into his outside in the 39 ride in the Sweeteners Plus, number 39, that is Dylan Yager. Bringing up the final row here in this one, the 99 ride, the Big Johnson Machine, that is Gavin Eddy. Into his outside in the 1 ride, it's Mason Loeb. As we are quickly green flag racing here in heat race number 4. Clint Smith out in front, but a big run down low for the 1J ride as here comes James Braswell trying to jump up into that top spot here as unfortunately he's getting swallowed up in a quick hurry. Connor New, and here comes Todd Reitzler right down to his inside. The 39 ride of Dylan Yager trying to roll that inside lane to perfection here. He gets a great run down at a quarter number 3. It's a little contact here. Braswell down low. He's going to slide up the racetrack, and that will open up the door here for that 39 ride of Dylan Yager to try to find a run down low to jump up into position number 4. There you go. He's going to pull the trigger, but here comes another big run from Braswell as he's going to jump down low as they go 3 wide here through quarter number 3 and 4 on the racetrack. Clint Smith is loving it, seeing these guys duke it out back there for that second, third, fourth, and fifth position as he's able to open up a bit of a lead here. Almost half a second now between himself and J.D. Brown, as Brown back in position number 2 with Connor New. There in the 49 ride in that third and final transfer spot, but he's got that 39 machine of Dylan Yeager trying to hunt him down. As Yeager there in fourth, James Braswell up into position number 5 here as he's sliding backwards just a little bit. Mason Loeb going to make the run, go for the slide job here in quarter number 1 and 2, and he's going to make that pass. And unfortunately for James Braswell, he is sliding backwards here in this one, already down 3 spots and into that 6th position. Clint Smith, though, out in front, gets into the outside fence. He loses the rear wing here. On that ride, some heavy damage for Clint Smith, and that is going to reel in the rest of this field in a quick hurry. You need the wings, you need all the body pedals you can here at Bristol, as the high speed and the high downforce you need on the racetrack, and you can see that contact and that damage already pushing him back and outside of a transfer spot. As the cars right there behind him eat him up in a quick hurry. That's J.D. Brown to the point now. Connor New to his inside, and Dylan Yeager right there ready to pounce as well in that third and final transfer spot. Clint Smith trying to hang on to fourth here as he's now got Mason Loeb down to his inside, and the 1J of James Braswell, as Braswell right there rolling to the inside, trying to jump up back into position number 4, and he's going to make it work as we see the white flag fly. This time down through quarter number 3 and at a quarter number 4, it's Connor New. How do you do? Picking up the checkered flag here in heat race number 4. J.D. Brown and Dylan Yeager will also punch their tickets into the show here this evening, as we'll get ready here for our first consolation race of the evening. I'm going to have 2 consies, 12 laps, top 6 will advance here. You got to be top 6 to keep your dream alive. If you're not inside that top 6, you will be parking your ride and joining the fans in the stands. And unfortunately, looks like 4 drivers will not make it into the show here. Out of these C, or in this C main, 4 drivers will not advance. And starting on the pole in the 166 ride, that is Ryan Green. To his outside in that 34 ride, it's Desmond Busby. Starting in position number 3 in the 25 ride, that is the Team CFM Esports ride of Scott Fritz. Into his outside, that's Chris Ferguson. It's Fergie time here in that 22 ride, starting in the 4th position. Chance Carr down on the inside here, a row number 3 is the 24 ride. Will start in the 5th position. He's got the UFO ride of Matt George to his outside. The 41 of Buck Simmons there in the 7th starting position. Will have Corey Sibley to his outside in the Matt Kenseth throwback paint scheme. And then we see the 5 ride of Greg Knight in the 50 ride of Hunter Gaines, bringing up the rear of the field as we are quickly green flag racing here for our C main consolation racing. Quickly, Ryan Green up to the top side as here comes Desmond Busby down to the inside, going to go for the slide job here in quarter 3 and 4. The crossover is right over the nose of Fergie there for that 2nd spot, as Fergie putting the pressure on early here as that 22 ride all over the back bumper of the 166, but now opens him up for a little 3 wide down into quarter number 3 as here comes Scott Fritz, gonna jump right up into that 3rd spot. Fergie there in 4th now, and sliding back to 5th as Chance Carr works down to his inside, and then you see the UFO 000 of Matt George there in that 6th and final transfer spot. He knows he's got to stay right here. He's on the hot seat though, but he wants to move forward even farther and keep himself out of trouble as he's got the 5 ride all over his back bumper, and here comes Buck Simmons down to his inside. Simmons right there in that 7th spot. He's the first car on the outside looking in now. Knows that he is on the hot seat to not make it into the show. Needs a great run here underneath the UFO ride of Matt George. As Desmond Busby out in front, he is setting sail. He is running away here with this consolation race. As Ryan Green there in 2nd, Scott Fritz in 3rd, Chance Carr, Chris Ferguson, and Matt George are top 6 here The top 6 will advance. The bottom 4 will unfortunately load up their rides and join the fans in the stands. That means Buck Simmons, Greg Knight, Corey Sibley, and Hunter Gaines need to get a move on here if they want an opportunity to race for $400 here this evening in our A main feature event. The 50 ride sliding around a little bit deeper in the field here as he's back in that 10th position, but he's going to gain a spot right there as Matt George hard up into the outside fence, and we will see our first caution flag of the day. Oh man, an absolute hard hit here for that UFO ride. That car is absolutely destroyed. Let's take a look back at it. Slide job right there for the 5 ride. He crossed him over. Thought he was clear. Unfortunately, was not. Gets up into the outside fence a few times, and the car's absolutely shredded. That right front tire off the car, sliding down the hill there into corner number 1. And that's a tough break right there for the UFO machine of Matt George, who's battling here for that 6th and final transfer spot. Unfortunately, just thought he got a good enough run to maybe clear that 5 ride and get back to the high side, and unfortunately it just did not work out for him, and that is a heartbreaker for Matt George. As we'll see if we can get another look at it here, another angle, and see what exactly happens here to this number 000, the UFO machine, as he's rolling right here, gets a good run underneath the 5 ride and just doesn't clear him, and fortunately goes over his nose, hard up into the outside fence. Heavy damage and down pit side for the UFO machine. We'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. Desmond Busby did not want to see that caution flag as he was out in front, had a very good lead, and he's going to be looking for a big restart right here over that 166 ride and the rest of the field as he gets the jump he needs to quickly jump up to that middle lane, but he's going to roll the inside. This bottom lane is starting to come in very nicely. The high side still carrying a ton of speed, but the inside lane starting to balance off, making this racetrack very two-dimensional, maybe even three-dimensional, as we may see 2-3 good racing lines out there on the racetrack. Ryan Green in second as Chris Ferguson now up into position number 3 and looking mean out there on the track as they battle almost 3 wide back there behind him. Greg Knight up into position number 4 and looking for more here is Scott Fritz and Chance Carr. They're in 5th and 6th. Hunter Gaines on the outside looking in here. That was the caution flag he needed to rejoin the field, but contact back here between the 3 drivers on the outside looking in. Hunter Gaines, Buck Simmons, Corey Sibley, all getting time together here as the white flag has been displayed, so nice and easy. And that corner number 2, this number 34 ride is looking for the checker flag, and his ticket into this A main feature event is out at corner number 4. It's Desmond Busby picking up the Consolation race win. Ryan Green, Greg Knight, Chris Ferguson, Scott Fritz, and Chance Carr all punching their tickets into the show. Unfortunately, the bottom 4 will be loading up their rides and heading home as we'll get ready here for Consolation race number 2 here on the evening. And we got some heavy hitters in here, some big names in this field, and it doesn't get any bigger than the driver starting on the front row and starting on the pole in the 26 machine. It's the Majula A Speed Shop. Cody Williams Designs number 26 ride. That is Tony Stewart starting here in the pole position. To his outside, it's supposed to be the 1J ride of James Broswell, as Broswell Jr. going to be starting there in second, and then Ryan Aho there in that 3rd spot. Mason Loeb to his outside there in position number 4. Then we see Tommy Kohik down in that 5th position. Kohik was one of those drivers that was in a transfer spot. Unfortunately, lost control of that 18 ride and all of a sudden ended up down pit side and off the racetrack and went from a transfer spot to outside of a transfer spot for that Waters number 18 machine. To his outside, you see the 20 ride. That is the 20 machine of Clint Smith there in that number 20 ride. And then we see the 44 ride of Darnell Nelson, and then Todd Reitzler to his outside. Kyle Busch there in 9th has Gavin Eddy to his outside, the Big Johnson 99 ride. And then that is Camden Johnston starting down in the Caledonia Automotive number 19C ride there in the 11th starting position. As Tony Stewart out in front on the lap pedal, but here comes James Broswell Broswell with a big run quickly, putting that MidSouth Mafia, Majula Speed Shop 1J ride to the point here as Ryan Aho works down to his inside. Tony Stewart up into the outside fence, trying to hang on to it as they're 4 wide down the back straightaway. 4 wide here, down through quarter 3, and at a quarter number 4, Kyle Busch down the very inside, trying to work himself up into a transfer spot. Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch now door to door. Is Kyle Busch getting a great run there? Down low and quickly, he's working himself into a transfer spot. The 44 of Darnell Nelson trying to keep himself there in that 6th and final transfer position, as now he's got the 1 ride right there behind him, or actually this is the 22 ride of Todd Reitzler right there behind him in the 22. Then we see Gavin Eddy surrounding Tony Stewart here. Stewart going from the penthouse almost back to the outhouse now is Camden Johnston right there, the last car on the racetrack here, trying to join this battle for that 6th, or actually that's the 8th, 9th, and 10th position right here in front of them, as right now Todd Reitzler in the 22 ride on the outside looking in here. He knows he needs to get up on top of the wheel, make the move around the marker. Number 44 ride there in front of him of Darnell Nelson to work himself into the show as he makes a big run down to the inside here of Mason Loeb. Loeb looking for a good run though, a great drive off of quarter number 4 there is the new lead once again. Top 6 will advance here as Jim Roney says let's go Corey Sibley, cheering on Corey out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately for Corey Sibley, did not punch his ticket there into the A main feature event. Biotic Man, Charles Barnes all coming in with the likes on the stream. Matt George with the like and the share. Jeff Brown coming in with that thumbs up, as well as here in our B main consolation race. It's the last chance dance here for James Broswell, as Broswell out in front, continue to lead the way here. Ryan Aho there in position number 2, with Clint Smith there in 3rd. Kyle Busch has worked himself into position number 4 and looking for more here as Mason Loeb and Todd Reitzler now are top 6, and they are all looking to punch their ticket into this final rate of the A main feature event, the $400 to win race. You do not want to be outside the top 6 right now, looking in, knowing that you will not have an opportunity to race for $400. And right now, Gavin Eddy, Darnell Nelson, Camden Johnston, Tommy Kohick, and Tony Stewart all on the outside looking in here. That 44 ride of the Dames ride continue to get a great run here as the white flag flies. This is their last chance dance here to be able to work themselves into the show. Gavin Eddy right there with them, but unfortunately Todd Reitzler in that 6th and final transfer spot looking to hold on as the checkered flag flies. James Broswell is going to pick up the B main win and punch his ticket into the show. So won't Ryan Aho, Clint Smith in the rest of our top 6 there in the B main consolation race. What a run and what a drive right there for these drivers. We'll take a look here at our final standings there for the B main as Broswell will get it done, punch his tickets in with Ryan Aho, Clint Smith, Kyle Busch, Mason Loeb, and Todd Reitzler, all getting their A main starts here this evening. Unfortunately, Darnell Nelson, Gavin Eddy, Camden Johnston, Tommy Kohick, and Tony Stewart will all be loading up their rides and joining the fans in the stands here this evening, as they will not be making it into this A main feature event as a quick warm-up session. Drivers going to be jumping out there onto the racetrack here. They'll be getting ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. We'll get a quick drink in here ourselves and we'll get ready for this A main feature event. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't go anywhere, as you don't want to miss this action here this evening. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do, and every single like, comment, and share helps grow the stream out to bigger and better things each and every time. Helps grow the stream by a ton, more than what you'd even think, and costs you absolutely nothing to do those 3 things. As we'll get ready to go A main feature racing here in just a few more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll get ready to set these drivers up. We'll get ready to go green flag racing, and we'll be back here in just a few more moments. Woo! Man, that was some great racing action right there. Wowzers! These guys put on a show. and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. As our warm-up session has come to a close, that means we will get ready for our A-Main feature event. Our A-Main about to get underway. Drivers will get ready to roll out on the racetrack as they get lined up down pit side. My boy Casey Durant coming in with the 100-star dono, coming in with the big 100 stars here in this one. I appreciate you, my boy, coming in, showing the big glove sense. We off suspension from iRacing finally. Let's go, brother. Let's go. That's what it's all about right there. Let's go, my dude. It's Casey coming in with the heart reaction as well. Burt Allen also coming in with that thumbs up. Colby Ely with the like. Bionic Man coming in with the thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. As we will get ready to set these drivers loose. Our A-Main feature event about to get underway for the MidSouth Mafia Thursday Throwback race here this evening from the beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway. The dirt track action about to come right at you as these drivers ready to rock and roll. My boy Casey coming in with another 50-star bomb here in this one. I appreciate you, my boy, coming in with another 50 stars here as my boy Cody Nevin coming in, showing the love, the like on the stream. Said, sup, Cody? What's up, my boy? Caster Plays, what's good, brother? How are you, Caster? Caster coming in, still showing the love over there on the on the Twitch channel. Wow, it's taking a long time for you to see what I said. Listen, I saw it, brother. I can't read every comment, man. I'm busy man up here in the booth as we get ready to go green flag racing. Our A-Main feature event about to get underway, and starting on the pole in the 31 ride, that's Skip Arp here in that top spot. To his outside, that is the number 15 ride of Evan C. Then you see that number 39, or the 50B machine, that is Larry McDaniels there in fourth with Connor New to his outside. Then we see Ryan Hoge, Trey Mills, J.D. Brown, Damian Kiefer, Dale Sr., and Matthew Selby rounding out our top 10 here in this one. Dylan Yeager, Nathan Waddell, James Broswell, Desmond Busby, Ryan Aho, Ryan Green, Clint Smith, Greg Knight, Kyle Busch, Chris Ferguson, Mason Loeb, Scott Fritz, Todd Weixler, and Chance Carr bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. As we are quickly green flag racing here from the beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway. The green flag quickly out in the air here for these drivers to duke it out. $400 on the line here this evening for each and every one of these drivers to try to claim their fame here at the front of the field. Man, some great racing action already as Arf out in front, which I do believe that is Blake Majulis in that number 31 ride. That's definitely a Blake Majulis looking paint scheme there as Majulis is out in front, showing them how to get it done here this evening as he leads the way, showing them how to get this one done. Just going to resize a couple of those things, move some things around there. There we go. That looks a little bit better here on the top of the board. It's out in front. These guys putting on a heck of a show as that number 31 ride leads the way here, showing them how to get it done. Skip Arp, Evan C, J.D. Brown, Ryan Hoge, our top four, as our top three starting to split away from the rest of the field. Here comes Dale Sr. Dale Sr. making his name once again known here at the racetrack, is all the way from above us. Coming down here to play in the dirt here this evening is Dale Sr. up into position number 4 and looking for more. Ryan Hoge there in 5th, and then you see Connor New there in position number 6. Going to slide back to 7th as Trey Mills will make the move around him. So Mills now back into that 6th position here as he's trying to regain the track position he lost from the start of this race. Matthew Selby there in 8th with Larry McDaniels sliding backwards, already down 6 spots on the racetrack here. The 50B machine not getting the start he was hoping for. And same with Damian Kiefer, down 3 positions there in that 10th spot. Dylan Yeager, James Broswell, Clint Smith, Greg Knight, Mason Loeb, our top 15. And that's where you see Kyle Busch right there in that 16th position. And our first caution flag of the evening is going to fly here in our A-Main feature event, as it looks like, unfortunately, a tough break here for Chris Ferguson. The ShopFergie22.com ride may have ran into some issues right here as things getting a little tight deeper in the field, and He's already got some pretty heavy damage. Looks like he's gotten up into the outside wall. No rear wing. Just trying to hang on to that ride. Unfortunately, could not hang on to it out at corner number 2 there. And he's going to go for a loop-de-loop. He's going to collect a few of his competitors there. A tough break for, unfortunately, I do believe that is Chance Carr in the 24. And Skip Arp also getting a piece of that one. Is driver's just nowhere to go right here, and unfortunately, heavy contact, bam, bam, play right there. The 25 ride getting some pretty good damage there as well, and fortunate break for those drivers. A tough break for Chris Ferguson as he'll get that car pointed back in the right direction. He's going to get that car repaired and back out onto the racetrack here, and we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing for our first restart of the evening here as Skip Arp out in front, as that was Scott Fritz that also got tied up there in the 25 ride. He's going to roll back out onto the racetrack here and rejoin the field as we go back to Green Flag Racing. He's going to have to get a move on. He may be at risk of going a lap down. Skip Arp with a great restart, but Evan C right there with him. C down to the inside, door to door for the top spot here in the Mid-South Mafia Thursday throwback race. $400 on the line, and here comes the Dale Earnhardt Sr. number 3 right there into the 3rd position, and he is not done yet. He is continuing to march his way to the front of the field, and he may be putting on a show here for us in this one. But this is a very long race, and drivers will have to keep their head on a swivel here, as you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to be getting collected early in this one, as, man, a 100-lap race. You only get one set of tires here at Bristol Motor Speedways. You can't come down pit side and get a fresh set of tires here at this racetrack. You're allowed one tire change, and you got to use it at the right time. If you use it at the wrong time, you may end up blowing your opportunity of picking up a checkered flag here this evening. Now, the thing is you run hard for the first 50 laps, try to split this race in half, come down pit side and get that fresh set of tires for the rest of the race. And it all really depends on where this caution flag may fly. If we get a caution flag late in this race, you got that fresh set of tires, could help you pick up a win. As there you go, Dale Sr. making the move here, but a great run there. I do believe that is Blake Majulis in the Skip Arp 31 ride, as Skip out in front here in this one as they battle door to door for the top spot. Dale Sr. back onto the racetrack here, making his name once again known here in this one, as it is definitely rattling his cage as, man, oh man, 3 wide here at the front of the field there, out at corner number 2, and it may not be done, as here comes Trey Mills, the future, working himself into this picture as well. And is that Davey Allison back there as well, or is that Davey Allison? I'm not sure if that's Davey Allison or if that's oh man, what's the name I'm thinking of here for Ryan Hoge? Oh gosh, Alan Kowicki. I'm not sure if that's Davey or if that's Alan Kowicki out there in the 29 ride, rolling up inside the top 5 to join this battle at the front of the field as Skip Arp and Dale Sr. duke it out here at the front of the field. My boy Tyler Jackson, T-Jack says, rattle his cage, rattle his cage. He's definitely pulling the Intimidator right now, putting on a show here as Dale Sr. leads this field. Skip Arp continue to battle with him, now back down to his inside here as they duke it out, door to door once again. A big run though on the outside groove, and that may be what Dale Sr. needs to hold on to this top spot as he gets a great run down into quarter number 1, looking to power down here at a quarter number 2 and keep Skip Arp back there behind him. Ryan Ho trying to hang on to his ride now as he's got Matthew Selby down to his inside, as Ryan Hoge unfortunately got a little loose there underneath of Trey Mills, trying to make the pass for position number 4. He's trying to battle back strong here as Damian Kiefer right there in the picture as well. J.D. Brown there in the 14 ride. Larry McDaniel's back there in the 9th position, and then you see James Broswell making a little contact there. That was Greg Knight almost going around in that 5 ride. A good save there for Greg Knight as he's able to keep that car pointed in the right direction, as here comes Clint Smith and Dylan Yeager working themselves up towards the top 10 as well. Kyle Busch back there in that 14th position, trying to work himself up towards the top 10, being patient there in that M&M's Monster number 18 ride, as we see our second caution flag fly. Oh, big one! Upside down goes Ryan Hoge. Hoge upside down, heavy damage here for the Helveline Oils number 29 ride. Oh no, tough break there for that beautiful 29 machine. Once again, I'm not sure if that's a throwback to Davey Allison or if that's a throwback maybe to Alan Quickie. I feel like that's more of a Davey Allison paint scheme on that ride, as we'll take a look at it and see what happens. It looks like Ryan Hoge and maybe the 18 ride here going to come together, as unfortunately Matthew Selby down low tries to pull the trigger here for the slider. Unfortunately, just does not clear that 29 ride hard up into the outside fence, and then, oh man, tough hit right there. Another tough hit right there as well. 34 ride of Desmond Busby getting into that one. I do believe the 5 ride, that is, it's not Scott Fritz. Who's the 5 ride out there on the racetrack? Greg Knight in that 5 ride. Just really nowhere to go for him. We'll see this contact as Selby's going to pull the trigger here underneath the 29 rider, Ryan Hoge. He just does not clear him. Goes up onto his nose there, and they get tied together down the racetrack. Some contact there as well for the 20 ride. Some pretty good damage there as well. Plus of that back wing off, and that's going to hurt his aerodynamics here at Bristol Motor Speedway, which plays such a big role. Luckily enough for the 29, he's back on all 4 wheels and able to keep on rolling, but unfortunately, he is back deep in this field, as we will get him stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Out in front, Dale Sr. leading the way here, as Anthony Garf coming in showing the love as well. Says, come on, Hunter Gaines. Unfortunately, Mr. Hunter Gaines is out of this one. Hunter, unfortunately, did not make it into the show here this evening. And a beautiful looking 50 ride out there on the racetrack, a beautiful throwback paint scheme, and unfortunately did not make the transfer there into this show, and he's down pit side with the rest of the crew and enjoying some wonderful racing action here, as I know Hunter would love to be out there on the racetrack in a heartbreaker there for the 50 ride here this evening, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. As Caster Play says, I'm happy though, because I got no school tomorrow. Let's go, no school tomorrow. I'm gonna probably hit the sack. Adios, adios, Caster, my boy. Thank you for tuning in, showing the love here in this one, as we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here this evening from Bristol Motor Speedway, as Dale Sr. and Skip Arp 1 and 2 on the racetrack. I do believe Skip Arp is actually Blake Majulis. Now, I don't have a clue who this 3 ride is. I have no idea who Dale Sr. is out there on the racetrack. I don't know who's in that car. That one's completely oblivious to me. I have seen Blake Majulis, though, run that 31 paint scheme before, so I'm assuming that's who that could be. As Dale Sr., a great restart right there, quickly onto the loud pedal. As Sr. out in front, here comes a big run from Skip Arp. Is Arp down to his inside. Arp looking for the run to maybe take this race lead back away, but couldn't pull the trigger right there, as he couldn't get clear of that 3 machine. Now here comes Trey Mills. Mills all the way up now into position number 2, as he's able to make the move and into that second spot, as Trey Mills up 3 spots on the racetrack, and now sitting perfectly here in position number 2, trying to hunt down Dale Sr., who's worked himself up from the 10th starting position now into the top spot here. So a great run for the Good Wrench Services Chevrolet of Dale Earnhardt Sr. as he's in that top spot. Trey Mills, the future, right there in second. Skip Arp, Evan C. trying to hang on to it as he gets a little contact to get squirrely down that back straightaway. Good job by C hanging on to that ride, as he's got Damian Kiefer, J.D. Brown, James Broswell, Larry McDaniels, Kyle Busch, and Dylan Yeager rounding out our top 10 here, all right there behind that number 15 ride of Evan C. As C just trying to hang on and keep these guys at bay as he gets up into the outside fence ever so slightly. He's going to lose a few spots, but he may get saved here. The caution flag is being displayed, so looks like we're going to see the caution flag. Looks like Ryan Aho, Chris Ferguson, and Connor New possibly all getting together here. We'll take a look from the 71 ride of Aho and see what happens, as that's Scott Fritz up in front of him here, and gonna send it into the corner. Oh, we already see a couple drivers tied together. Oh, hard hit there, upside down goes Aho. A big hit right there, a tough break for Aho. Big hit there for Chris Ferguson as well, as Fergie slides into that. Unfortunately, there's nowhere to go. I'm not sure. That looked like Matthew Selby possibly getting a piece of this one again as well. Let's see if we can take a look at it. Selby's up on the high side. They're trying to work themselves back to the front of the field, and looks like they just get 3 wide and tied together right there. Goes over the nose of the 49 ride. I do believe that is the 49 of Connor New. You see the 5 machine getting a piece of it as well. Some more damage for him. The 24 getting some good damage there as well. That's Chance Carr getting some heavy damage there on that race car. And then you see Ryan Aho here. Just nowhere to go, but it's Chris Ferguson with the big hit of the evening as he drives into this one full steam ahead, and unfortunately not enough time for him to make the move to be able to get out of the way. And fortunately, T-bones the 71 ride and sends him upside down. Contact right in front of him. He's out of the throttle, and just not enough time for Ferguson to make any kind of a move there. And unfortunately, heavy damage again for that 22 machine, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys have been enjoying the racing action, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we are only rolling up to 27 laps into this race. 27 laps. We still have 73 laps of racing action left to go here. So there is a ton of racing left for these drivers. They're trying to work themselves up to the front of the field, trying to roll some strategy as they can still get that fresh set of tires. But the thing is, when do you come down pit side? When do you utilize those fresh tires? Do you come down early and hope it works, or do you come down a little later and hope that you have enough, track position saved up where you can kind of roll yourself back up towards the front of the field here? Or do you not even come down pit side at all? I think you got to come down at least once and probably get those fresh tires. But some of these guys at the front of the field are seasoned veterans. They know how to get the job done. They know how to keep themselves out of trouble and keep themselves at the front of the field and save those tires. So it's going to be interesting to see how drivers are going to handle this, as we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. It's Dale Sr. and Trey Mills, 1 and 2 on the racetrack. They will see the green flag fly as Sr. gets a great jump once again here. Quickly slides up in front of the 75 ride, jumps to the high side, slides right on through here into quarter number 1 and out of quarter number 2. Trey Mills still putting the pressure there onto his back bumper, as here comes Skip Arp and Evan C. They are in 3rd and 4th. J.D. Brown now up inside the top 5, as we do see Chris Ferguson having some more issues. No caution flag, though, on the racetrack. Damian Keefe, they're right there on the outside of the top 5, as James Broswell there with them, and Larry McDaniels, Ryan Hoge, and Dylan Yeager are top 10. Unfortunately here, Ryan Hoge has been flying through the field, and this may be dangerous for the rest of the field, but you get some contact right there. Him and that 39 ride of Dylan Yeager get tied together. We did see this 29 ride go upside down not too long ago. Ryan Hoge definitely not sitting in a good position, had a lot of track position to try to regain, as he was up inside the top 5 when the contact between himself and the 18 of Matthew Selby took him up into the outside fence and put him upside down, and he's been able to rebound here pretty nicely, now sliding up in front of Larry McDaniels. McDaniels going to slide back now to that 9th position, as Ryan Hoge working himself back up towards the top 5. As out in front, Dale Sr. getting a couple car length lead here, continuing to lead the way is Trey Mills, Skip Arp, J.D. Brown, and Evan C. sliding back down to 5th, rounding out our top 5. As we're going to jump into a very quick Peacemaker game and crank it up. Ladies and gentlemen, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. here in this one. As out in front, it's Dale Sr. continuing to lead the way over J.D. Brown. Skip Arp, Evan C. and Ryan Hoge now back inside the top 5. Trey Mills there in 6 with Dylan Yeager, Damian Keither, Clint Smith, and then Larry McDaniels rounding out our top 10. And it's a dogfight back here for this top 10 right now, as they are 2-3 wide. They've been beating and banging, sliding around. You saw it there. During our Crank It Up session, these drivers have been putting on an absolutely wild evening of racing action. Awfully quiet tonight, Peace. There she is. Yes, Sirski. He got us during our Crank It Up session there, Jordan. My boy, Mr. LaFon coming in, showing the love. And my boy, Blaze Schumann. Blaze coming in, setting it off with a blazing hot 100-star dono coming in. Big ones here in this one. I appreciate you, Blaze, coming in with the 100-star dono. Blaze coming in with the like on the stream. T-Jack also coming in with that thumbs up here in this one. As just over halfway through this race, this is where things will get interesting. You do not want to come down pit side during green flag lap times. You can easily go down a couple of laps here during green flag pit stops. But if we see a caution flag, we may see some drivers using that extra set of tires that they have down behind pit wall to their advantage here this evening. As J.D. Brown's able to jump up, take this top spot away from Dale Sr., we see the caution flag fly. The caution flag that I think almost everyone in the field was looking for, as just over halfway through this race, only 42 more laps left to go, they're going to have an opportunity to come down pit side here, get a fresh set of tires, and roll back out there on the racetrack, and it may be a 42-lap shootout here to the checkered flag. As out in front, it is that 14 ride of J.D. Brown. He's got Dale Sr., Evan C., and Skip Arp back there behind him, as we'll take a look back and see what brings out the caution flag. As unfortunately looks like James Braswell already off the racetrack here possibly. We'll take a look and see what may have happened here, as looks like Ryan Green also getting collected here. Maybe a big one is to see the 1J right in the middle of this 3, almost 4 wide out there on the racetrack. The 166 rider Ryan Green right here in the middle, and they just kind of run out of room and get bounced around. Around goes Green, hard contact there. Oh, upside down goes Ryan Green. A absolutely wild ride there for that 166 machine, as we'll jump right on board with the helmet cam here and take a look and see what happens. They're just running 4 wide, not a lot of room back here, and unfortunately just a little contact. Around he goes and upside down, and a couple loop-de-loops there, a couple roly-polies for that 166 ride, and unfortunately for him and James Braswell, they're headed down pit side. We also see a lot of the rest of the field also down pit side here. Some drivers coming down pit lane, getting some work done. See Desmond Busby, Greg Knight, Scott Fritz, Ryan Green, all down pit side. Drivers coming back out from pit stops. We see Dylan Yeager, Ryan Hoge, Evan C., Damian Kiefer, Dale Sr. all went down pit side here and utilized that set of fresh tires. So this could be interesting where everyone lines up here on this restart. We'll have to wait and see how it all officially gets played out, how it all officially gets scored, and see where these drivers roll back out here for this restart. As man, oh man, oh man, this is going to be one wild race. This is going to be one wild finish. This $400 payday, $400 on the line here to our race winner in the beautiful MidSouth Mafia Thursday Throwback race. $400 to win here this evening, and one lucky driver that'll put themselves into victory lane will also pick up the big payday here this evening. These drivers all get lined up where they're supposed to be out there on the racetrack. I'm not even sure who's technically leading this race, as it looks like it is Kyle Busch. He's going to be out in front here, the 18 ride leading the way. He's got the 5 of Nathan Waddell to his outside. J.D. Brown there in third with Dylan Yeager there in position number 4. Evan C., Ryan Hoge there in 5th and 6th, and then we see the 18 ride, actually it is the 31 ride there, I do believe, of Blake Pajulis, or Skip Arp there in the 8th position. And Larry McDaniels, Matthew Selby, Trey Mills up there as well. Clint Smith, Scott Fritz, everyone just trying to get into the right starting position here for this restart. So maybe a bit of an extended caution flag here, just making sure that everyone gets into the right positions here for this restart. As we get them all figured out, we get them all pointed in the right direction and ready to go back to green flag racing here. That number 18 of Kyle Busch out in front. Nathan Waddell there to his outside, running 1 and 2 on the racetrack, getting ready for a big restart here through quarter number 3 and at quarter number 4 as the green flag back out into the air. KB Kyle Busch looking for the win here this evening. Out in front, it's a great jump. Slides up to the high side, but down low. Here comes JD Brown. Those fresh tires paying off as he looks 3 wide here at the front of the field. 3 wide for the top spot as J.D. Brown looking to take that top spot away from the 5 of Nathan Waddell and the 18 of Kyle Busch. FNC right there in the mix, and here comes the 39 of Dylan Yeager as well. Beating and banging, battling here. 3-4 wide, a little contact. Hang on to it, the 5 right of Nathan Waddell. Almost going around as it is getting plumb wild here this evening at Bristol Motor Speedway. The fresh tires trying to make quick and easy work of the old tires that are off in the front of the field here. Waddell trying to hang on to the 5 right as best as he can, and so isn't Kyle Busch. Busch unfortunately sliding backwards here a little bit quicker than that 5 right as the 18 machine already back to that 10th position. So a tough break there for KB here on the restart. Now getting up into the outside fence. Hard contact for Kyle Busch. The right front is absolutely busted. He's going to have to try to get this car off the racetrack. No caution flag as of yet, but he's still out there. So we will see this yellow flag possibly come out. There it is. Caution flag on the track. That could have been a close call for the rest of the field here as they were rolling up to that could have been a lot worse there. And KB, unfortunately, Kyle Busch running out of talent there in quarter number 3 and 4 finds the outside fence here. Unfortunately, he's probably regretting not getting those fresh tires now as he was getting shuffled back through the field, and unfortunately looks like he may get a little help right there as the tail tag from the 18 right of Matthew Selby just kind of straightens him out, and unfortunately just can't get the hang of that car. Slides up the track hard into the outside fence, and once you really dig in to that outside wall, it can just tear that right front to shreds, and that's exactly what happens here for Kyle Busch in the KB Motorsports ride. Hard into the wall, and unfortunately, he may be taking that car down pit side now for some extensive repairs and trying to get that thing back in there onto the track. As he's headed down pit side, looking to get the work done to that 18 ride. He gets the quick repair. Now going to get jacked up and some fresh tires onto that ride as J.D. Brown out in front as my boy Brian Wax and Jordan LaFont coming in, showing the love with the reactions here on the broadcast. My boy Brian Wax says, "What's up, Aaron Woods? What's up, Brian? What's up, Brian? How are you, my boy? How are you?" Brian coming in, showing the big love here in this one. What is good, buddy? How are you? How you doing today? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. The track is cleaned up here. The crew working hard over there down pit side, getting Kyle Busch back out onto the racetrack here. So good to see KB rolling back out onto the track. Unfortunately, I'm not sure he maybe scored a lap down or not here. Looks like he may still be on the lead lap. So could be a very good break there for the 18 rider Kyle Busch, but he will start at the back of the field. So he's got a lot of track position, but he does have the freshest tires. He's trying to roll back up through the field here. It'll be interesting to see if drivers can work themselves to the front of the field, if anyone can knock off the top spot of J.D. Brown. As Brown out in front has Dylan Yeager in the Sweeteners Plus number 39 ride to his outside. Then you see the 3 rider Dale Sr. there in that 3rd position has Evan C. to his outside. Nathan Waddell in the 5 ride. There in position number 5 has the 31, a Skip Arp to his outside, which I do believe is Blake Majulis. And then we see Larry McDaniels back there, the 29 rider Ryan Hoge in the Davey Allison throwback paint scheme. And then we see Matthew Selby and the 34 of Desmond Busby rounding out our top 10. Mason Loeb, Clint Smith, Damian Kiefer, Trey Mills, James Broswell, Scott Fritz, Todd Reisler, Greg Knight, Chance Carr, Ryan Green, Kyle Busch, Ryan Aho, Chris Ferguson, and Connor New rounding out the field as we are back to Green Flag Racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. A great restart. Contact! Oh, baby, look out! Nathan Waddell going around. I do believe we are going to see that caution flag come right back out as things get a plumb wild for the 5 ride here. I do believe we do see that yellow flag fly as Nathan Waddell goes around there at a quarter number 2. He's going to keep that car out on the racetrack here. Looks like he's going to wait for pit lane to open and head down the right pit side. As we'll take another look at it here as cautions, breeding cautions. The 5 ride pushing it down low. Unfortunately, just going to get tagged a little bit right there. As the 50B ride gets underneath him. Unfortunately, spins him around. Gets a piece of that 34 ride right there. And then here goes Trey Mills into it as well. Or actually, that's Scott Fritz. Unfortunately, then Greg Knight in there. The 166 of green also getting collected there with some heavy damage. But down into that inside wall. Big contact there for the 5 ride is unfortunately for the Johnson ride. That is some heavy, heavy contact in a tough break for Nathan Waddell as things were getting a little too plumb wild out there on the racetrack for him. He is now going to head down pit side, get that car repaired, get that fresh set of tires onto his car as well, and try to use those to his advantage to work himself back up through the field. My boy Brian Wax says, great to see you. Great to see you as well, Waxer. Always good to see you up in the chat. My boy coming in, showing the love here in this one as we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a couple seconds. Things are going to get plumb wild here once again. Things are not yet settled, man. There is still $400 up for grabs for our race winner here this evening, and that is a big payday. 400 big bucks to pick up the win here in iRacing is definitely something you want to do. It's something that dreams are made of. You want to always get this opportunity and this shot to maybe get your name into the history books and pick up that great big payday. As Burt Allen says, always fun watching the broadcast. See you at Talladega this weekend with ORL. Burt, my boy, always good to see you, my dude. Always good to see you. As Brian Wax says, looks like Uncle Larry Monroe or Moore up front. Larry Moore up front. I'm not sure who that is, but that's currently right now, as much as I know, is JD Brown. There's obviously drivers with nicknames in the race, and I don't know who they actually are. I don't know who they are. I don't know who's in that Dale Senior ride. It's a question mark to me out there on the racetrack. And the JD Brown one, I'm not sure if that's actually JD Brown or if it's somebody else as typo like. Yeah, I got you. I can read between the lines sometimes, Brian. Sometimes I can read between the lines. As we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, J.D. Brown back onto the lap pedal here. Dylan Yeager there in second, looking to hang on to position number 2, but looking to also make a challenge here at the front of the field. As 3 wide right there behind him as here comes Evan C. Evan C. looking to work himself up into position number 3. Dale Sr. working the middle here with Skip Arp there in position number 5. Ryan Hoge there in 6th. Then you see Desmond Busby, Clint Smith, Matthew Selby, and Mason Loeb right there rounding out our top 10. The 75 rider Trey Mills on the outside of the top 10 looking in with Damian Keither, James Broswell, Scott Fritz, Greg Knight, our top 15 here in this one as J.D. Brown out in front all by himself here this evening. As J.D. Brown leads the way here. The Tri-City Speed Ride out in front as the Tri-City Machine leads the way here this evening. Looking to cash in and pick up that $400 payday. Dylan Yeager, Evan C. in tow here. Looking to pick up some big paydays themselves as they head down across the line. Our favorite lap 69. Up onto the board here of 100, and that means 30 laps left to go next time by the start-finish line. So next time by the line, 30 laps up onto the board, and we got ourselves a Saturday night special here. 30 laps to finish this one off. Who is gonna get it done? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us know up in the chat who you want to see up here in Victory Lane as we're going to take a quick crank it up break here, gonna drink into us, and we'll go back to the live broadcast here in just a couple seconds as we will get cranked up here to finish off the evening. Out there on the racetrack. Each and every one of them trying to hunt down this Tri-City Aluminum number 14 ride. J.D. Brown out in front now to a 1 second advantage between himself and Evan C. the Valvoline Mopar number 15 ride. Dylan Yeager in that Sweeteners Plus number 39 right there in third. And here comes Skip Arp down to his inside of the 31 ride. The Dale Senior Throwback paint scheme right there in position number 5 with Ryan Hoge, Desmond Busby, Clint Smith, Mason Lowe, and Trey Mills rounding out our top 10 here in this one. Sorry, Matthew Selby right there as well in the 18 ride. Selby blinking there for a quick second. He is also inside the top 10. It's my boy Frank Ranger coming in with the heart reaction. Says, what's up, buddy? What's up, Frank? Coming in, showing the love here this evening. J.D. Brown, though, out in front as Thomas Dennis coming in, setting it off. Thomas coming in with a 50-star dono, setting it off here in this one. Let's go, brother, coming in, showing the big love. I appreciate you, my dude, coming in with the 50-star dono. Says, Aaron, what's good, Thomas? What's good, my boys? J.D. Brown out in front, going to click off another lap. We see 16 more laps left to go here in this one. It is the MidSouth Mafia Sim Sports Thursday night throwback series race. There's $400 on the line for our race winner here this evening. So J.D. Brown trying to cash in and pick up the big payday here this evening as Evan C. trying to reel him in. He's starting to inch away at that advantage that J.D. Brown had. So Evan C. reeling in our race leader as there's Dylan Yeager in position number 3. He's got Skip Arp there behind him in that 31 ride. The Dale Senior Throwback paint scheme right there in position number 5 as Ryan Hoge, Desmond Busby, Mason Loeb, Matthew Selby, and Trey Mills are top 10 here in this one. A dogfight back there for that 10th position as he's looking underneath that 20 ride here. Clint Smith is Smith trying to work himself up inside the top 10. Scott Fritz right there in the picture, as well as Larry McDaniels back there in 13th. Greg Knight, Todd Reitzler, James Broswell, Ryan Green gonna head down pit side here as Nathan Waddell still out there on the racetrack. Kyle Busch down pit side as well with Ryan Aho, Damian Kiefer, Chance Carr, Chris Ferguson, and Connor New all down pit side as well. As the caution flag fly, looks like Kyle Busch running into issues here once again on the racetrack as KB rolling out there in the M&M's number 18 ride. Fortunately, looks like he may get some help. No, I don't know. He may have just lost it right there. Some good contact there from Green as he gets into him. As I'm not sure if there was contact there or not. We'll take another look at it, see if there's contact made. It looks like he may have gotten some help, but I think he may have already been going around. I think he's just going around here almost by himself, and whether or not he got contact or not, he goes around and brings that caution flag out late in this race. So, tough break there for Kyle Busch as we will get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. If I join Discord, you should give me an interview. I don't even know who you are, Lindsay. I don't even know who you are. My name is Luke Bishop on Discord. I have no idea who you are, so that is not going to happen, as I don't pull anyone in here. Ask JD in his interview if it's Larry. Laugh out loud. He's checking out. He is checking out. Is that the real Kyle Busch? That is not the real Kyle Busch. Actually, I honestly don't know. I'm assuming it's a nickname that they added in here for the throwback race here. Throwback paint schemes, they threw in the names of the car, of the driver of the car. So I don't think it's actually J.D. Brown or Skip Arp out there. Obviously it's not Dale Sr. in the 3 ride, as that's physically impossible, as that's a tough break. I was in the Fergie car but got wrecked. Okay. Listen, I would, but top 3 and the hard charger are the only ones that I'll be pulling up into the booth here this evening, and I haven't seen you in the stream, so I don't pull just anyone in here. Weekend Warrior Design says these throwbacks are awesome. These throwbacks are absolutely amazing out there on the racetrack. Each and every one of these drivers knocking it out of the park, having their respective paint crew or themselves putting in the work here, making these rides look very, very beautiful out there on the racetrack. I'm sure each and every one of them has a special meaning or a special story behind them, and it'd be awesome to hear each and every one of them, but unfortunately we don't have enough time in the day for every one of them. Denisha Selby coming in with the like on the stream as well. Weekend Warrior Designs coming in with that thumbs up. My boy Thomas Dennis also coming in with that like on the stream. My boy Thomas coming in, setting in the big love. As Frank Ranger says, this shit looks fast and fun. It is very fast and very fun. That is for certain, Frank. That is for certain, my boy. As we get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. J.D. Brown out in front. We'll see that green flag fly here at a quarter number 4. As this one drawn to a close, a great restart for the 14 line. That's exactly what he was looking for. As he puts the power down, opens a couple car length lead between himself and Evan C. You see Skip Arp now up into position number 3 as he rolls around Dylan Yeager. They're now sliding back into that 4th spot. He may be at risk of sliding farther back as he has the 29 ride of Ryan Hosje. It's outside Dale Sr. right there in that battle, and Desmond Busby trying to poke his nose into that fight, as well as the caution flag will fly here once again late in this one. Greg Knight and Scott Fritz coming together here as cautions breeding cautions, and look at the gaggle of cars deeper in the field here, and unfortunately it just does not work out. 4 or 5 wide there on the racetrack, and unfortunately the 5 ride gonna get tied together, gonna get bounced around here a little bit, spins the 22 ride around. Unfortunately there for Scott Fritz, nowhere for him to go, as the unfortunate number 5 ride just ends up on his hood right there. I do believe the 22 ride out there on the racetrack as well is using that 22 ride again. I can't even remember. It's so hard to remember. I do believe that's Todd Reitzler in the 22 as he gets turned around there a little bit. He's able to save it though. A great save out of that 22 ride. But unfortunately for Scott Fritz, not so lucky out there on the racetrack, as we'll jump right on board here with the 25 ride. The helmet cam going to show everything here as He's right behind that 22 ride. It's a good run. Drives it up to the middle and then just runs out of room here. And then here comes the 5 ride. Right across his nose, right onto his lap. And that is a tough break for the Mids ride. If I could drive a dirt late model, I'd have a Don Scheibler scheme. I'm not sure exactly who that is, but I'm sure you would. T-Jack, you always have beautiful paint schemes out there on the racetrack. Thomas Dennis says, disappointed, don't see a CJ Rayburn throwback wrap. Yeah, I don't think I saw one either. There may have been one earlier for drivers that didn't make it into the A-Main feature event, but I don't believe I saw one out there, unfortunately. Kyle Carter coming in with the like on the stream. Brayton Schumann also coming in with that thumbs up here on the broadcast. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube. As we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Here in this one is out in front. It's J.D. Brown looking to pick up the checkered flag as he puts the power down here as it's downtown. J.D. Brown out in front leading the way here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Brown out in front has Evan C. and now Skip Arp there battling for position number 3. It's a good run for Dylan Yeager to his outside. Desmond Busby working himself inside the top 5 as he works to the inside of Dale Sr. There on the racetrack, Ryan Hoach there in 7th. Trey Mills up into the 8th spot on the racetrack. He's got Nathan Waddell in the 50B of Larry McDaniels there behind him. It's about to get plumb wild as this 5 ride, one of the final drivers to come down pit side. Get that free set of fresh tires here this evening, and he's putting those fresh tires to work as he's trying to drive up through the field and maybe trying to snag a podium finish here this evening, but he's running out of time as J.D. Brown out in front continues to click these laps off. He's starting to get a little pressure onto his back bumper as down across the line. We see 6 more laps left to go. Can J.D. Brown hang on and hold off Evan C., Skip Arp, Dylan Yeager, and Desmond Busby as Evan C. takes a look down to the inside there. Couldn't quite pull the trigger as J.D. Brown going to stay out in front. 5 more laps left to go. J.D. Brown leading the way here as Evan C. and Skip Arp trying to run him down, trying to take away this $400 payday from that 14 ride. And C with another big run down to the inside. 4 more laps here for Evan C. to try to get it done. Gets a little piece of that 14 ride. No tire spin though out of J.D. Brown, able to handle it with absolute perfection there as he leads us out of corner number 3 once again, and we see 3 more laps up onto the board, and things are getting tight here at the front of the field. It's a dogfight deeper back here as you see the 75 rider Trey Mills get up into the outside fence. Nathan Waddell's going to slide by him, and Mason Loeb there trying to slide up into that 9th position on the racetrack. But the big battle's on here for the $400 payday. It's nice and easy out of corner number 2. Gonna head down that back straightaway into corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. J.D. Brown's gonna see that white flag fly. Evan C. down to the inside. He looks to make the move and he couldn't hang on to that inside lane. He slides off the racetrack. Here comes Skip Arp now to his inside. It's J.D. Brown. Nice and easy for the final time through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. It's J.D. Brown picking up the win here in the 100-lap Mid-South Mafia Thursday night throwback race, and the $400 payday is going to the J.D. Brown machine as he advanced 7 positions on the racetrack, got that race lead late in this one, and he never looked back. He had his work cut out for him though as Evan C. all over his back bumper for multiple laps there late in this race, trying to knock him off the top spot. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for J.D. Brown as he picks up the win here this evening. Evan C. and Skip Arp there in that 2nd and 3rd position. Dylan Yeager and Desmond Busby rounding out our top 5. Brown driving the Larry Moore wrap. Brown is driving that Larry Moore wrap. That is for certain as LaFawn with the popcorn here in this one. T-Jack says clean finish, an absolute clean finish out there on the racetrack. And that's exactly what we want to see as we'll get ready to pull J.D. Brown in the rest of our top 3 and our hard charger up into the broadcast booth, as I do believe our hard charger going to belong to Mason Loeb in the one ride, up 14 positions. Started all the way back in the 22nd starting spot, able to pick up a top 8 run there for the one ride of Mason Loeb. But it's all JD Brown here at the front of the field as we'll get into the Discord here and get ready to pull JD up into the broadcast booth. Hey JD, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you copy?
Yep, sure do.
JD, man, what a run, what a race. Take us through this one. Is a little bit of strategy having to be played in this race. You got to go a little hard early in this race, pick up some spots, get yourself up towards the front of the field, but then you got to kind of conserve your tires there until about that midway point, or possibly the entire race. If we would have saw this go clean and green the whole way through, no one would have been coming down pit side for those fresh tires. But around that lap 58, we see the yellow flag come out. You guys head down pit side. You get a fresh set onto that car. You roll back out onto the racetrack, restarting with that 5th position, and quickly you're able to make the moves past those drivers with the old tires and take the race lead away. And basically from that point on, you're able to hold on and lead this one right down to the end. But it didn't come without a fight, as you get Evan C all over your back bumper there in those closing laps and on those restarts, man. Take us back through them and how you got it done, and how nervous were you out there coming down to the line?
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. I was really just trying to get to the front as soon as I can because I knew most likely everyone would have pitted around the same lap. So really just trying to make sure we're out front when we pitted. And it worked out. I kind of got stuck on the bottom, which ended up saving tires. So I was able to get the lead before the yellow and came down pit road, got the lead back under pits, and it just worked out pretty well. At the end, Evan was a little faster, but thanks to him, he raced me clean the entire time. Never got into me there when he for sure could have. But yeah, just really just trying to protect the bottom. I knew he really couldn't get above me, so just really, protecting the bottom, just making sure he can't get under me, mainly on the exits of those corners at the very end.
Absolutely, definitely not wanting to open the door there and allowing Evan C to do what he does best, and that's trying to get the lead and run away with races here. We've seen it so many times before, especially in these big money races, but you're able to hold them off, and you pick up that extra $400 payday, man. What does that mean to you?
It's pretty cool. I usually don't win or don't run many money races, and usually don't win them either. So pretty cool to get this. It's probably one of the biggest earnings in terms of money I've won. So yeah, pretty cool to win this, especially against Evan and Blake, probably the 2 best guys on the game right now. So pretty good run, especially excited to whenever you could beat those 2.
Absolutely. Now take us back, as this is the MidSouth Mafia Throwback race. Take us back through your Throwback paint scheme and the story behind it, the driver, and what it means to be able to run that wrap and be able to finish in that top spot, bringing it back again into victory lane.
Yeah, pretty cool to run Larry Moore, number 14. His main thing is this, I was not a big late model guy coming up, so just kind of really trying to find someone that's number 14 to represent there. I usually go with Tony, but ended up going with Larry Moore this time around.
Absolutely. Well, very beautiful looking ride and a very beautiful run out there on the racetrack as you're able to park that car up here in victory lane at Bristol Motor Speedway. JD, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Yeah, everyone over at Alpha Industries, Logan, provided the setup this week or for this race, and worked out pretty well. And I also at Virtual Racing School, all the setups over there that usually I make and kind of get them. If you want good setups, you'd get them over there.
Absolutely. Well, JD, a great run and a great drive as you park that 14 right up here in victory lane, picking up the $400 payday. Congratulations on being crowned the winner here this evening in the MidSouth Mafia Throwback Thursday race here for the $400 payday, man. And that was a hell of a run, a hell of a race, and hopefully you get to celebrate here a little bit with friends and family and enjoy that extra payday and be able to maybe use it towards dinner or a couple beers. I'm sure you're probably sweating pretty good right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. JD, enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations again on picking up the win.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for JD Brown as JD picks up the win here in this one, putting that 14 ride back into victory lane. A very beautiful throwback paint scheme, and he parks the Larry Moore machine up here in victory lane this evening, and picking up that extra payday has got to be absolutely massive for JD Brown. As we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the 15 ride of Evan C. We're going to pull Evan up now into the broadcast booth. Hey, Evan, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Evan, man, a very, very strong run here all evening long. We saw you lead some laps, and then we saw you late in this race all over the back bumper of J.D. Brown, just waiting, hoping for an opportunity to make a move and be able to hold it down underneath of him as we saw you there on that final lap. Shoot it down to the inside. You just couldn't quite hold that inside lane. You slid up and almost gave away that second spot to Blake Pajulis, but you're able to hang on for a solid second place run here this evening. Take us back through this race and how it all played out for you.
Yeah, I mean, felt pretty fast out there. Felt like we could had a car to win, but I think JD when he came in, he only took 2 tires and was able to get out ahead of all of us. It took 4 tires, and it was just good enough where he could hold on there at the end. And I think what was helping him out a lot is the track kind of got one lane on the bottom, and I mean I could get under him, but really just didn't have anything coming off. When you're coming off that low, it was easy to pinch someone's momentum off like that. And maybe I should have went and tried in the top, and I could have got to him, but it didn't really sound like nobody was up there, so I don't know if that would have worked or not. But I mean, it's definitely fast at the end. Just JD got us there on the 2 tire call.
Absolutely, a very brave call there out of that 14 ride as you pull the 15 ride here into position number 2 on the evening. Take us back through this throwback paint scheme here, the Steve Francis throwback paint scheme wrap. The story behind it, or the reason for you running that wrap here this evening.
Well, I think somebody picked it for me a couple of throwback races ago, so I've just been running it since. But I do like the blue and the black and white. I like those colors, so Mopar's pretty cool also. So that's about my only reasons for picking it.
Well, it definitely looked very, very good out there. It looked like it had that Mopar muscle late in this race as you were all over the back bumper there of J.D. Brown, trying to work yourself to the front of the field. Unfortunately, you settle in for a solid second place run here this evening. Evan, who would you like to thank for a great run and strong performance here at Bristol Motor Speedway?
Yeah, it's everyone at CFM Esports, Agility Speed Shop. Had a lot of cars in the top 10. I think we had like 5 or so in the top 10 there in that race, and a lot more made the show. I thank everyone that Sweet Victory Apparel, SharkFurry22.com, Tactical Defense, Captain Morgan, and James, and Steven for admin, and everyone that helped put on the show for us. It's pretty cool to come out here and just everybody have Throwback paints on and different names and stuff, and run for some money. And thank you for broadcasting also.
Absolutely, it's always my pleasure, and Evan, it's always good to see you up here getting these great finishes. As another close one here for you, almost another checkered flag in your historic iRacing career, but you got to settle in here for position number 2. But still a very good day at the racetrack, a very strong showing. Congratulations on coming home in that second spot in the MidSouth Mafia Thursday throwback race.
Yep, thank you.
Absolutely, enjoy the rest of your evening. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the 15 ride of Evan C. as he comes home here in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for Evan C. here this evening. As now we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher, our third place driver. The 31 ride, it's not Skip Arp, it's actually Blake Majulis. Majulis coming home here in position number 3. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview. Hey Blake, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Like, man, a great run and a great drive here this evening. Late in this one, though, you're battling through some traffic, trying to get yourself up inside the top 3. You finally get there. You're reeling in that Mopar number 15 ride of Evan C. and the 14, our eventual race winner, J.D. Brown, late in this race, man. It looked like you had a very, very strong car, a very fast ride. If you had another 20 laps, 30 laps, do you think you had anything for those 2 cars out in front of you?
Oh, definitely, man. I think me and Evan were definitely the best cars there at the end. I mean, we were talking the whole race, and we figured we'd be better with what we had. And obviously, the beginning of the race, we weren't very good, but we definitely had a later race set up, and it showed there the last 20. We were just really, really good. Just a little too late, and the track was really one laned at the end, so it was going to be hard to get anything going as far as passing goes. But with a track like that and to end it like that, it's all right to get third, but always want a little bit better. But congratulate JD. His strategy worked out, and he was able to hold on. So, got to give him credit on that. And overall, it was a pretty fun race.
Absolutely looked like a ton of fun out there as we saw a lot of 2 wide, 3 wide, even eventually we saw some 4 and 5 wide racing out there on the racetrack. Sometimes worked out, sometimes it did not work out as we saw a few caution flags here on the evening, making the strategies maybe a little bit more even as we saw that caution flag come out around lap 58. Drivers coming down pit side. Only a few drivers elected to stay out a little bit longer. Their plan really didn't work for them here in this one. Nathan Waddell was able to drive back up into ninth there, but unfortunately they got tied up in a couple of incidences there and not the outcomes I think they were hoping for on those strategy calls. But the strategy call for J.D. Brown works out for him. He gets that checkered flag, and you got to settle in here behind Evan C. once again for a solid third place run here this evening. Who would you like to thank, Blake, for such a great run and strong performance again here at Bristol Motor Speedway?
Yeah, brother. I don't think we've talked before, so I appreciate you doing the broadcast, man. Thank you very much. Gives everyone a place to watch, and I know it's slim pickings now, so it's pretty hard to keep up on this stuff. So appreciate that as always. Braswell for putting the race on. Steve for adminning the race. Majula C Speed Shop #1. Go visit our website. WR1 Sim Chassis Represent Limited. Cruise Pentagon Racing. Reliable Energy Solutions, Design 75, Tyler Burrow at TAC 3 Defense. Everyone that watched, and like I said, you, man, thank you for what you did, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Now we got one more question here for you before we let you go. You're running that 31 paint scheme with Skip Arp. I do believe I've seen you run this paint scheme before in a couple different races. Is there any story or anything behind it on why you chose to run that Skip Arp paint scheme here this evening for the throwback race?
I ran it for the first throwback race, like maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago, and I won the first 3 throwback races with it, so I always stuck with it. But tonight it was a couple spots short, but no true story to it. Just always had good runs with it, so why not keep the momentum rolling?
Absolutely. Well, still some pretty good momentum. Another strong performance, another strong run coming home here in third. Blake, congratulations again here on coming home in that third spot here in the MidSouth Mafia Throwback Thursday race.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the 31 ride of Blake Majulis. Not Skip Arp, it's Blake Majulis in that 31 ride here this evening as he comes home in that third spot. We'll get ready to pull in our hard charger waiting patiently down pit side here. Mason Loeb coming home in that third spot as we're black screen here. The session has ended, so let's see if we can go to our interview room here as we'll see if we can pull this, the 18 ride won't pull up, or the 1 ride won't pull up here, so we will have to go to our different screen here, which is unfortunate, because you won't be able to see his car or his name up there, but let me see if we can find our, where the heck is it? There's the intermission screen. That's what we were looking for right there. There we go. That's what we were looking for. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the 1 ride of Mason Loeb. Is Mason Loeb going to come home here in the 8th position this evening? He is the hard charger, up 14 spots on the racetrack, and he parks himself up here inside the top 10. And in that hard charger position, we're going to pull Mason up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Mason, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yep.
Mason, man, the Hard Charger Award going to that 1 ride. Take us back through this one as you started deep in this field, all the way back in the 22nd starting position, but late in this race, you're able to find the gear that you need and drive up through the field and picking up the most spots on the track here in that 8th spot of 14 positions, man. Take us back through this one.
Yeah, the first run, the first 50 laps, I struggled a lot, but after we got that yellow, went in, got some new tires on the car, it was pretty good.
Absolutely.
Towards the end, though, it was just about all surviving the whole mess we had going on.
Absolutely. There was definitely a whole gaggle of cars, everyone battling so tight there through that middle portion of the field. And to be able to survive some of it, as there was a little bit of chaos out there, a little bit of contact, and a lot of beating and banging, and you were able to just kind of stroll through there late in this race and be able to get through some of that. As we saw you guys battling, 3, 4, almost 5 wide at times out there in that middle part of the field, and it looked like a lot of fun, but looked like it was a lot of nervous times as there was a lot of close calls.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There on the last restart with 9 to go, I was looking towards the infield wall. I don't know what all happened there, but luckily I was able to drive past a few cars that got by on that, and really other than that, maybe a little bit of door-to-door beating down the straightaway, but nothing crazy that I dealt with. But I know there was a lot of stuff going on throughout the field.
Absolutely, a very exciting race, though. Mason, who would you like to thank for a great run, a solid performance here this evening, and picking up that Hard Charger award?
Really, I just got to thank the Jewel C Speed Shop. Evan helped me out a lot here before this, and Blake as well. So there's not much to say. That I struggled early on, tried to run my own deal, but obviously when I went to them, it worked out.
Absolutely worked out half decent here for you. Definitely not exactly the spot you were hoping for this evening, but you got to be pretty happy with a solid top 10 run here, parking yourself in that 8th position, picking up the Hard Charger award. Mason, congratulations on another great run and great drive here this evening.
Thank you.
Absolutely enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations again on picking up the Hard Charger award.
You as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Mason Loeb as he picks up the Hard Charger award here this evening in, I do believe this is the 3rd or 4th race, but it is the MidSouth Mafia Thursday Throwback race. $400 on the line for our race winner, and J.D. Brown is going to cash in and pick up the payday here this evening. A great run and a great drive there for that 14 ride, the Larry Moore Throwback paint scheme, paying off for J.D. Brown here this evening as he gets it done and parks himself in the Bristol Motor Speedway victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, unfortunately, that is going to do it here for us this evening. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers or subscribers over there on YouTube. I appreciate each and every one of you and welcoming you to the PeaceMaker family. As we get ready to call it a night, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back live tomorrow evening. I'm not sure what we're going to get going on. Not a whole lot of leagues or anything for Fridays and Saturdays here, as the Real Life Racing Series is kicked off here for a lot of different racetracks. So not a whole lot of leagues, and leaves us with us twiddling our thumbs. So we'll have to jump in and get something going, whether it's maybe some Call of Duty ranked gameplay, or maybe we'll hop in and do some racing ourselves, or something. We got to get the content out there. So we'll be back live again tomorrow evening for some more action-packed gaming opportunities here, and opportunities for not only followers, but also our subscribers and everyone else to maybe get in and catch some games with yours truly, PeaceMaker Gaming. But listen, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen. What a run, what a race, and a huge congratulations again to J.D. Brown with the win, and a huge thank you to MidSouth Mafia for bringing us on board here for this race. That was an absolute wild one, man, and I can't wait to even go back and rewatch it myself.